Okay, as the moderator said, my name is Tamicka Hyacinth, and tonight I will be discussing with you in relation to your topic, legal considerations for entrepreneurship opportunities. Okay, entrepreneurship opportunities. You're thinking of starting businesses and doing business ventures. What are some of the things related to the law that you need to consider? I speak about the law because I'm a lawyer. Okay, think about the structure of a business. Before you start a business, you need to think, what type of business am I going to start? What structure is this business going to be like? The law affords you different opportunities. You could have a business and just register the business name. It's more informal, so you register the name so that the name is protected, so that you are the only person who is trading as that name. So I guess in Portsmouth there are many businesses that they're just business names that are registered. It's not like a formal company. So like you have Duvernay Enterprises, it's a business name. Everybody knows that is that business. So if you want to start a business, you could be trading as that name. You don't have to trade as your name. Like if I'm going to start a business, it doesn't have to be Tamicka Hyacinth Enterprises. I could start something and call it Seychelles, and then I register that name, and then that becomes sort of like my brand, so to speak. Now the process for doing that, it's very simple. You go to the company's registry in Roseau and you get some forms and you fill out the forms with the necessary information. You pay a fee of $90 and you register your business name. So you are officially trading as that particular name. Now the other option that is afforded to you is incorporating a company. Does anybody know what that means, to incorporate a company? I didn't hear you. Okay, basically it's like different companies that you have, and there's this and that limited, XYZ limited. These are companies. So in the law, these companies are separate from the people who own them. They have a distinct personality. They are like legal people. So Samuel and I are two different individuals. So I am the person, and I form a company. It's like another person. So, and it's limited because it's limited liability. So the debts of the company are not your debts. The profits of the company are also not your profits, although you can benefit from it by getting dividends that the company pays you. But it's a separate person from you, so to speak. So this is different from just registering the business name, in that it's a more involved process because you're forming a legal person. And you can also invite others to invest in your company, and then they get shares and you pay them dividends, part of the profits of the company, and you'll have an organization that you can use to do business from. Now there are advantages and disadvantages to go in that route. Advantage, as I said, is limited liability. So if the company goes out of business, goes bankrupt, creditors don't come after your money in the bank. Creditors go after the business assets. So in that sense, you are not liable for the business's debts. The disadvantage, however, is that there are lots of regulations and laws that the company would have to comply with because it's a company. And according to the size of the company, you would have to register your financial statements at the registry, and irrespective of the size of the company, you would have to register at the registry the directors of the company, that's the people who are running the company, the shareholders of the company, the people who own the company. So that sort of information will be public, so to speak. Another avenue that will be open to you when you're thinking of forming a business, which is also very commonplace in our community, is cooperatives. When you think of cooperatives, most of us think of the credit union. We're in the credit union building now. That is probably the most popular cooperative society that we have in Dominica, the financial cooperatives. But you can also use the cooperative mode to do other things. Like people use it to do fishing. The group of fishermen come together, and it affords them the opportunity to share risks, share costs, and also make maximum benefits and maximum profits out of their limited resources. So it's an idea that you could also utilize in whatever idea that you have to form a business. To do a cooperative, it doesn't have to be restricted to the fishermen and the farmers. You could use cooperatives for any different thing that you want to. Just a group of you come together, 10 or more, you register a cooperative company, a cooperative society, sorry. It's similar to a company in that it is different from the members who make it up. So in that sense, it has the debts of the cooperative and not your debts, your individual debts. So there's some protection in that aspect. Okay, I suppose a lot of young people are also interested in music, and that is also music and arts and that sort of thing is also another avenue that you could pursue when looking to start a business. And most people think of businesses as in retail, but I guess the world that we live in, people have different talents, different abilities, so you should not be limited to the particular status quo or what traditionally prevails. So let's say you decide that you're going to go into the music business, or you're going to sell your paintings, or even like computer graphics and that sort of thing. Anything that you create, you do think about IP rights, intellectual property rights. The law affords you protection for your creation. So in terms of music and art, in literary art and drama and dance, that sort of thing, you are protected. You have what is called a copyright. I'm sure most of you know what a copyright is, right? You've heard that term before. We hear it all the time, copyright and breach of copyright, and this person needs to pay me for my copyright, that sort of thing. When you create something, the law recognizes you have a right in it as the author of that thing. So it gives you something called a copyright. Now that copyright arises automatically. Once you create, you get a copyright. The copyright protects your work in that somebody else cannot just use your work and it's nothing. If somebody uses your work, if somebody uses your song, if somebody uses your dance, somebody plagiarizes your book, they need to pay you because your copyright is your work. So the law affords you the opportunity to get royalties for your creation through the Copyright Act. And there are things called, there's a Performing Rights Society. We have one in Dominica where you can assign your copyright, so the right that you have by virtue of being the owner of whatever intellectual property it is, whether it be a book or play